Hey, listen, I'm going to bring on Michael Shoesmith in just here in a moment, and he has some amazing stuff to bring to the table, and I know that you are anxious to hear that. Before I bring him on, let me remind you to go to carlgallups.com. If you haven't been there in a while, we've done a major facelift and remake of it. Now, it looks similar in its layout, but it's so much easier to navigate, so much more Windows 10 looking, I guess you could call it. And everything is just there, big, bright displays, app kind of links, picture links, app links, all the kinds of things that you like in a Windows 10, Windows 8 kind of display. It's all there at carlgallups.com. And while you're there, click on the PNN News and Ministry Network link at the top of the page and go look at the major facelift that has already received and will continue to be tweaked and modernized. At carlgallups.com in the top right-hand corner, you've been hearing me say this for years, but now, people say, but I was still having a hard time finding it. Well, you won't now. You can find the podcast for Freedom Friday, the Listen Live link for Freedom Friday, top right-hand corner, carlgallups.com. So easy to get to. And from carlgallups.com, it's like an index page for everything that PNN and CGM stands for Carl Gallups Ministries, that it does. You've got the PNN prayer link, you've got the PNN Facebook links, the PNN YouTube links, the PNN blog link, also easy to get to. The CGM, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn channels, PNN LinkedIn. I mean, all the stuff is right there. Plus major breaking news, thousands of videos and links to the videos. It's amazing. Plus our ministry partners like Messiah of Israel Ministries and Zev Parat and like Pro-Life Doc, Dr. Bill Lyle, and so many more. It's all right there, carlgallups.com. Make sure you go by and check that out. Mike Shoesmith at the bottom of the first hour. Here's Mike Shoesmith, the executive editor of PNN News and Ministry Network, a network that now has literally millions of viewers every month that tune in and follow us. Sometimes we get millions of connections and viewers and posters and responders within a few days. It's absolutely amazing what God is doing over at PNN News and Ministry Network, Mike.
Well, no, it really is amazing, and we give God all the glory. Speaking of really amazing, what God is doing.
Yeah.
I've had a major beef with the scientific community, quote unquote, for many years now. I first brought this to the attention of the audience a couple of years ago on your show, when, as you know, the faith community for hundreds of years has taken a lot of heat, a lot of ridicule, for believing the Bible and everything that it says, including, metal objects seeming to float in water all by themselves, and Jesus, floating across the top of the water, and the atheist community and the secularists and the humanists. You believe in fairy tales. You believe that metal can just float through the air, and a human being can just float through the air, and you believe all this stuff. Or
that you can raise the dead, or that an elderly woman could have a baby. I mean, all these things are in the Bible. People have been making fun of it, right?
Right, and you're getting way ahead of me here a little bit, just a little bit. But I wanted to just give people some context here about my beef with the scientific community, because I stumbled across this YouTube video a couple of years ago, and this is why I brought it to the attention of the audience a couple of years ago, because now scientists are able to levitate metal objects using sound waves. Mm-hmm. And this video is on YouTube. And I'm watching this video screaming at these people saying, you people you are plagiarizing God here. Now, I know that perhaps God should be flattered by this, because, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, as many people have said. So they're imitating God, essentially. Mm-hmm. But they're not giving God any glory. They're saying, look at us, look at us, look at us, right? Mm-hmm. And look how awesome we are. And I'm like, wait a minute. This has been going on for thousands of years because Almighty God has been doing it, right? So then this week, a couple of stories come out. And one is that scientists now have launched a groundbreaking trial to see if it's possible to bring dead people, back to life.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
And people, by the way, let's just tell people, everything you're talking about, they can find these links and these articles. You've posted them at facebook.com/freedomfriday.carlgallup. So you can join us there, folks. You can listen live. You can get the podcast. You can see all of these articles. So, Mike, go ahead. Bringing people back to life, and that article is there. Go ahead.
The article is on, actually, we post all these articles that we talk about to the Freedom Friday Facebook page, by the way, which is facebook.com/freedomfriday.carlgallups. If you want to go check that out, all these articles are linked up there. But yeah, scientists are now trying to revive dead people. They have to be certified dead, and then, they inject cocktails into them and essentially playing God, In fact, a major story that was covered by all of the networks this week was a woman in her 70s. But getting back to the dead people coming back to life, remember Lazarus? Remember Jesus, Almighty God, brings Lazarus back to life after being 4 days in the grave. And people in the atheist community and the secularists are like, oh, you believe in fairy tales. Dead people don't come back to life. And here we have scientists now trying to bring dead people back to life. But if the scientists do it, let's have a parade, because scientists are awesome and science is everything, right?
Yeah. If the scientists think they can do it, then we are to praise them. If God has done it and the calendars of the world have been changed to mark that event, let's mock that.
Right, and if that doesn't burn your donkey, Carl, I don't know what does, because this is flat out plagiarism. This is intellectual dishonesty. They are copying what God has been doing and has been capable of doing since He said, "Let there be light." By the way, this just came to me now. I don't have this story posted yet, but I will post it. Scientists have photographed the very instant that the sperm enters the egg, and the gametic cells come together, and there is literally, and they've finally been able to capture this with a camera. The moment the sperm enters the egg, there's literally a flash of light.
Yeah, I know.
And what they're saying, and it's funny because now they're saying scientists capture on tape, on camera, the moment life begins.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
There you go.
Is that the moment life begins? So is the argument over? Does life begin at conception? Scientists are saying absolutely, life begins at conception.
Yeah.
So when will we finally admit that abortion is murder? Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand here, all of the mainstream news sites have been covering this amazing event in India. A woman in her 70s has now given birth. And I'm reading this, I'm hearing this on Fox News, CNN, everybody's covering this. I'm looking at a news article here out of CBS News, which is another mainstream news outlet, covering this woman. And then I'm looking at a picture of these two. This is amazing. Can you imagine being in your 70s giving birth? I mean, that's incredible, right? I guess the woman and the child, they can both shop for diapers together. Where's the drum roll there? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing you. That's good. I'm sure people. You got a drum roll out there. Keep going, buddy.
Yes, but everybody's in awe and wonder at this woman in her 70s giving birth to a child, and there's all kinds of science that went into this. And we're going to get in more of that in a second. But, here we have this woman, 70 years old, her husband's 79, giving birth, and the whole world is just, applauding this and saying, wow, look how wonderful this is. But guess what? They've got a bit of catching up to do if they're going to catch up to Abraham and Sarah, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Almighty God caused them to conceive and give birth without any needles and injections and really troublesome therapy. To give birth to a child, Isaac. So, I mean, this is nothing new, folks. And, if you guys want to have an amazing headline story every day, just flip through the Bible. There are amazing, shocking things that have been going on caused by Almighty God for thousands of years. And, this is nothing new. But, my point was with the whole knowledge thing was if we go back to Genesis 3, and we have the whole event where Adam and Eve have been told, you can eat, you can have fun, you can do whatever you want, just don't touch this tree of the knowledge of good and evil. because it says, in the day that you eat of it, you will know good and evil. That just doesn't mean that you will know that good and evil exists, that you have an awareness of it. That verse suggests that they will know it intimately. They will have knowledge of it and be involved in it intimately. That they will drift from one to the other. Good, evil, good, evil, good, evil. And it's funny, that the word science comes from the Latin word scientia, which literally means knowledge. So, and it says there that then your eyes shall be open and you shall be as gods. And I just think this is amazing, because here we have all these so-called scientists going around playing God, doing and being applauded for doing the things that God himself has been doing for thousands of years.
Right.
And they are being heralded as, these great and mighty scientists. Right. And now they're doing what God has been doing. I just think this is amazing that we are now reaching epic heights of achievement from the secular scientific world as gods, having this knowledge, this science, this scientia, this knowing. And I think that we're coming full circle here, Carl. Right. I think we're seeing the Tower of Babel has been rebuilt through a one world language. The whole world has come together on the internet. I mean, we can watch people in live, real time, doing things across the other side of the planet. The whole world is coming. The Tower of Babel has been rebuilt. We all speak the same language. And everybody is going around applauding these scientists acting as God. Right. Doing what God himself has been capable of doing for thousands of years. Yeah, and Mike, even if they're not doing it, the thing about it that's kind of mind-boggling is that they are... Well, I can't think of the word to say. They're desperately attempting to do these things. I mean, some of the things they're actually doing now and saying, "Oh, look what we can do." Well, God's been doing it for thousands of years, and you mocked us for saying it, and now you're patting yourself on the back. But then, they haven't quite learned how to raise the dead yet, but they believe they're very close to it, and they're so thrilled, they're so excited, and they're so braggadocious about it, and they're so arrogant about it, but yet this is the very thing that they have used to mock the Christian gospel for 2,000 years, and yet now they're saying, "Oh, we're almost able to do that." Well, if you're almost able to do that, why could not God have been doing it from the beginning? Right, and it's only awesome when we do it. Yeah, it's only awesome. Yeah. Right, and think about this, though. What God has done is far superior to what they are doing now. Yeah. Like, they're able to levitate small little pieces of, paper clips and so on. I mean, literally levitate. The videos are on YouTube. Levitate these small pieces of metal, and yet God has been able to levitate, giant blocks of steel and human beings and so on. So, they're not quite at the 90-year birth place yet, but scientists are now being heralded as reaching these pinnacles of scientific achievement. I'm just saying, look, give God the glory for being you're just poor imitations of the master scientist. Well said.